I visited the site today, and I went over to the Darrington side. And as a fire chief, I believe it's important for me to get out there in the trenches where my people are working.
When his community needed him, Fire Chief Travis Hott stepped up to an overwhelming responsibility. When needed across the state to battle blazes that threatened homes and lives, he went. Serving his community was something he wanted to do since he was a boy growing up in Marysville.
And quite frankly, Spider-Man and Superman were superheroes, but you know who the real superheroes were? It was the local policemen and the local firemen and the local sheriff's deputies and state troopers. Those are people that I looked at as heroes. I think it was easy for me to say, you know, I'm going to have a life in public safety because those are my heroes and I want to be just like them.
You might think as a firefighter and chief, he has already become the hero he strived to be. But Travis had more to give. He'd spent a lot of time working around helicopters and had always been intrigued by them.
And one day we had it was actually an evening training session, and there was a gentleman that was standing right behind me. And he kind of whispered, wow, if I ever had it to do over again, I think I'd do that as the helicopter was setting down and landing. And I looked at him for a second and I thought about that and I thought, I'm very, very satisfied with the career path that I've chosen, but I would certainly like to do that too. And so it kind of sparked a fire in me to look into it. And I began to research it and realized that it's extremely expensive to get into if you're not in the military. And so I talked it over with my wife, and we talked about, you know, the pros and the cons of it and the expense. And of course, she didn't think it was a good idea. So Monday I went down and signed up for helicopter flying lessons, and the rest is history.
He spent his own money, and his wife's too, on helicopter lessons.
She has made significant sacrifices for me so that I could fulfill my dream of being a rescue helicopter pilot. I haven't taken her on an actual trip on an airplane in several years because we've had to pay for these helicopter lessons. So she has supported me in this endeavor, and so I'm very grateful for her for that.
That sacrifice has likely saved many lives. As a volunteer Snohomish County search and rescue helicopter pilot, Travis has since contributed to rescues that could not have happened if not for volunteers.
We go and try to help people that wouldn't otherwise be rescued because either they're in a spot that we just can't get to them from the ground, or they're so critically injured or ill from a medical problem that by the time ground crews did get to them, the outcome may be very bad.
I just find it exceptional that someone with a busy professional life, who's fire chief of 2 different fire districts, working to improve each one of them for the benefit of the citizens in Arlington area, is able to balance that with his family life and then volunteer for an organization that he believes wholeheartedly in. The training that one must do to be involved in search and rescue. All those pieces take time, take effort, and take a dedication that's absolutely impressive, and that's why I believe he's a hero.
Travis says he gets his inspiration from other volunteers, those he works with at the fire departments and on search and rescue missions.
When I was brought in as a pilot with search and rescue, I felt like a T-baller going into the major leagues. And that's not just talking about the other pilots that I was operating with. That's talking about all the other volunteers that are riding in the back of that helicopter and the support staff. They're all at the top of their game. It's a very unique, exceptional team. I'm lucky to be there, and a great group of people.
This hero keeps finding new ways to serve. It's a way of life he recommends.
I think if people have an inkling that they want to give back to their community by volunteering and doing something, and it keeps crossing their minds, you know, if they got an itch for that, scratch that itch and go sign up and do it, find out. I highly encourage people that if they're thinking about volunteering, whether it's a a volunteer fire department or search and rescue or a reserve sheriff's deputy or with the Red Cross or a chaplaincy program or a soup kitchen, whatever, go do it.